the bigger issue for me is that gives me enormous grief is the fact that we have the largest uranium reserves on planet Earth. We have unlimited coal. We have tons of lithium. We basically have more than enough resources to be self-sufficient. And we could be a pound-for-pound economic powerhouse easily. But we have weak leadership that pine and bend to more dominant leaders in the West. And that's why we find ourselves where we are. And I think we really need to start to steer away from whoever is controlling us. And hopefully that will start to happen.
I see Ralph Babette just came back from a energy conference in Europe, and he's spruiking nuclear and coal, which I think is the way to go as well. And he's saying the whole nonsense about net zero and solar and wind turbines being renewable. You know, they're not renewable at all. He said the only thing that's renewable about them is the cost. You've got to keep replacing them every 20 years. They only provide a very small amount of energy. And so I think nuclear and coal is the way to go. And we do eventually need to find, you know, a replacement for fossil fuels. But this whole net zero thing is nonsense. I think the global warming thing's not
bullshit.
It's basically bullshit. And, you know, China's making a lot of money out of us by selling us these wind turbines and solar panels. So they're probably, you know, got their influence in here with the politicians, I'd say. You're like, well, who's behind it? Probably the Chinese. So, yeah, that's why I think we do need to think about our energy policy. I was looking on Google Earth at Fukushima, and there's only a 3-kilometre exclusion zone around the actual nuclear power station that erupted. And so I think they estimate the damage and danger from nuclear fallout from when these reactors have an accident. I know Chernobyl's now people are moving back into Chernobyl around that area. So I think they always demonise and make the nuclear fallout problem to be way bigger than it is, and that the radiation levels actually drop off quite quickly over several years. And they say, it's going to be around for hundreds of thousands of years and all this nonsense, but the levels are so low after just a decade or two. So I think that's the way they try and shut the nuclear down.
Yeah,
and
also the
scare
storage
the people
and stuff, isn't it? They go, well, because at the moment, they're just burying it in holes and putting it in silos in a desert or shooting it into space.
Yeah, you've only got to have one rocket blow up, and that's probably not a good look.
But at the end of the day, it's like, well,
why don't we just put it back in the ground, like, you know, Elon's boring machines that just bore a big hole? Yeah, bore 10 kilometres into the earth and pack it down there, and then put another 2K of concrete on top of that to plug it.
Well, that's it. That's like that Simpsons episode. Just keep shoveling it all under.
You dig it up from the dirt and you put it back in the dirt.
Yeah. But I think when you see the likes of Amazon, Google, and Microsoft all, well, sheepishly come out and say that they are going to get their own semi-modular reactors, the little nuclear plants, by 2030. They're building them now. They're rushing it through because they know that their AI demands are not going to be fulfilled by their wind turbines and solar panels. Yep. It's not going to work. So when you get these hypocrites, these, you know, climate
deniers,
all that crap, come out and just backflip. So, okay, cool. Well, the pressure's off now and you're a hypocrite, so we can all start to move towards some common sense solutions, which is great.